It's far from it. It's not, you know what, it's not so much the language, so much as the pronunciation of words that throws me off. It's just what Americans have done with the language. You guys have just, wow, you've done something. You've put 22s on the English language. You've got rims that just pimp my language. That's what you've gone with, you know? I don't understand. I was chatting to this woman downtown the other day. She came up to me and she wanted me to see something. I don't know what though. She was like, oh my God, look over there. I said, look over what? She's like, over there. Look at that her. And I said, her? She's like, no, her. There's two of them? I understand nothing. Even the small words, just the pronunciation. You know, small things that get you by. For instance, I pronounce the opposites of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Out here you say my aunt, which to me is an insect, which made me look like an ass when my friend told me his aunt died. And I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there. What a great way to end a friendship. I couldn't get help the other day when searching for a battery for my remote control, because that's what I say, battery, a small form of power. Yes, in America, you say battery, which to me is a different form of power. Sponsored by Chris Brown. And you know what to understand? We live on different sides of the globe, so it's fine. The language will evolve. This is something I've come to understand. But I hope I change one thing in your hearts forever. Just one thing. And that is that animal in the wild that looks like a horse. It has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor. From now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra. Yeah? Just like it's not Debra, it's Deborah. Same structure of word. Plus, you cannot name them because you do not have them. Zebra. This is madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world, you know? We have the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process. You know, everything goes into each other. And out here you have imperial, which is fine. I mean, I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things. Like, for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg, milligrams. Mg, milligrams. And you guys have ounces, which you then abbreviate OZ. There's no Z in the word, ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me, please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS. Pounds. I look like the idiot walking into the store going, could I please have the 2 labs bag of sugar? I was like, you mean pounds? I said, I don't see the P. No, I don't. I said, well, it means pounds. It's not LBS. A lot of bullshit. That's what it stands for. This is horrible. In fact, it's crazy. You do realize the imperial system is so inefficient that even American drug dealers have switched over to metric. Even drug dealers got to the point where they said, we need some order, we're going with metric. And I honestly thought this was an anomaly. I thought, you know what, this is just one of those things, it's a coincidence, but it's not. Americans do not care about abbreviation nor the English language. They don't give a damn. I learned this in the small things. Like for instance, when I was in Tennessee, I stumbled on an organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. You heard of them? Worst magic show ever. Guy gave me a pamphlet. He was like, come and see the Grand Wizard. Grand Wizard! The Grand Wizard! Didn't do one trick! Not even one trick. I mean, I noticed a few black people disappear, but I mean, that's not magic. You know, that's just Reaganomics. I wasn't impressed by that. Like, where's the magic? I sat there forever. These guys running around in their sheets. Yeah! The KKK, as they're affectionately known, has nobody bothered to tell them ever that you do not spell clan with a K. Nobody stopped. Even in America, clan is spelt with a C. The Ku Klux Klan, they're the KKC, not the KKK. You realize that? Ku Klux Klan. The C. In fact, the name is wrong. The whole thing, the Ku Klux parts of it. That's just horrible because they got that, as you know, from ancient Greece. It was Ku Klux Elfion, meaning a circle of brothers. And that's how they got their name. They call themselves a Greek circle of brothers, which is wrong for two reasons. One, if your sole purpose as an organization is to hate black people, don't you find it strange that you've now named yourself the Circle of Brothers? And secondly, do they realize that in ancient Greece, circles of brothers were doing very different things with one another? Very loving, very, yeah. If they were really a Greek circle, the sheets would be a bit higher up, just more of a, yeah, maybe one more hole. They're not a... The newspapers say that. He's famous, so now people treat you like you're famous. They start saying weird things to you. Strangest things people would say to me. Trevor, well done on everything, eh? Congrats. But, even though you're going to America, don't forget us, all right? Don't you forget us. I don't even know who you are. People would say the weirdest things to me. You know what the number one thing people have said to me? Number one thing? It's not good luck. It's, hey, Trevor, good luck over there. But whatever you do, don't forget your accent, all right? Yeah, please, don't pull a Charlize on us, okay? You keep your accent, man. Make us proud. Everyone said that. Trevor, brah. Hey, Trevor Noah. Hey, Masakan. Hey, man, you're making us proud, no? Yeah, man, you're doing big things for us, but brother, can I ask you a favor, no? Don't lose your accent, no? Don't lose your accent. Yeah, when you come back from the States, you mustn't come back talking funny, okay? Please, brother. If you lose your accent, don't come back. Just threaten me? What does that mean, if you lose your accent? How do you lose your accent? People make it sound like you're going to be walking down the street and then just out of the blue, you'll be like, my accent! I lost my accent! What the hell is my... Well, hello? No, that's not my accent! That's my accent! How are you going to lose your accent? I was stressed now. Because I don't want South Africans to think I'm not South African. I don't want them to think I've forgotten something. This is my home. Now I'm stressed coming home. I'm in the plane, flying back to Johannesburg, and the whole time I'm just thinking, don't lose your accent, Trevor. Don't lose your accent. Don't lose your accent. Don't accent. Is that how I say accent? Accent. By the time I landed at OR Tambo, I was losing my mind. I walked in arrivals, the woman was there at customs. Welcome back to South Africa, sir. I was like, yes, I'm back. Same old Trevor. Nothing changed. Going crazy. Because I love accents. I really do. I love accents. I like learning languages, and so obviously accents are a byproduct of that. I've learned over time that even if you can't learn a language, an accent is a great way to communicate with somebody in your own language whilst trying to bridge the gap. You learn somebody's accent, you communicate more effectively. The thing is, though, you have to learn the accent in the right way. If you're going to speak to someone in their accent and you do it in the wrong way, you might come across as racist. You've got to be very careful about this. White people in South Africa often fall into this trap. Yeah. It happens at petrol stations quite a bit. See people driving in with their friends, talking normally, sitting in the car. So, I mean, if we get all the numbers together, marketing should be behind this. It should be a breezer. HR's stepped up, and it's going to be a great year. And look, we try and make sure that sorry, hold on. Hello, Baba. Hey, sharp man. Please put Lapo full tanky, eh? 95, unleaded, yeah. Also check our tires, eh? Pressure, pumpy, not too much, eh? 2.2, okay? Yeah, good jobby. Yeah, sharp, donkey boss. Don't do that. He's a grown man. He's been pouring petrol his entire life. He knows what you need. Just talk to him like a normal human being.
That's the thing people don't understand. Speak to him like a normal human being. I used to get so angry. Whenever I'd see white people changing their accent when they talk to black people, I get so angry. I was like, are all white people racist? Is that what it is? You're racist? And then I learned. Life taught me not to be so quick to judge. Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. I was driving to Gold Reef City one day, into the backstage area, and the security guard came out to the boom, and he was like, hey, how are you, sir? Is your name on the list? I said, yes, how are you, Baba? My name is Trevor. He's like, okay, Chappelle. I said, no, Trevor. He's like, oh, sorry, Chappelle. I said, no, Trevor. Shalva. And now my friend who was irritated, he just leans over me and he's like, hey, Papa, get Trevor. He's like, oh, Trevor. Why you don't talk properly? And then I understood. I finally understood what white people have been trying to do. I see, you're trying to communicate more effectively. You're trying to engage somebody. But understand this. When speaking to somebody in an accent, the number one rule to understand is an accent is not a measurement of intelligence. Right? An accent is just somebody speaking your language with the rules of theirs. That's all an accent is. So don't speak down to them. Don't patronize them. Speak to them the way you would to yourself. Just try and learn their accent. That's all it is. It's just another accent. Yeah. And I learn them. I spend all my time learning accents. I try. I love it. I learn in restaurants. That's a safe place to start. You learn, you read off the menu, you try and pronounce the words correctly. I was inspired by French restaurants, funny enough. Yeah, whenever I'd go to a French restaurant, I was always fascinated by the fact that people would order food in a French accent. I never understood why. Because they don't do it in any other restaurants. Only in French restaurants do people walk in and then change their accent when they order. They come in talking normally.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. You're really going to enjoy it. It's so beautiful. Yeah, stunning. You have to have... the dessert. Oh, good evening. How are you, sir? Yes, I will have a bottle of water for the table, please. And let's start off with... could we get the Sauvignon Blanc, please? Yes, and we definitely from Maine's going to have the filet mignon. And for dessert, we're going to go with the crème brûlée. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, you're going to love it.
Like, why are you doing that? I never understood. I was like, why? Because it's not like the French are going to return the favor. There's no French people sitting in our restaurants in South Africa looking at the menu like, so for the table, we can order some starter portion. We share something? No? Okay. Could we please have one serving of the boerewors? That's not going to happen.
I'll never forget, I met an American in South Africa. And he said to me, well, Trevor, it's funny you say that because if you come out to America, they'll label you as black. I said, really? And he was like, hell yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's black out there. And I was like, wow, well, I want to be black. And I found out it's true. Mixed race people are categorized as black in America. Yeah. The only catch is, and nobody tells you this, you have to be liked and successful first. Before then, they say you mixed. You achieve success, and you get upgraded to black. All the famous mixed people do it. Singers, like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey, yeah? Mixed, but then they say black singers. Sportsmen, like Tiger Woods, mixed, but then they say black golfer. The most famous mixed person on the planet by far, Barack Obama, mixed, half and half, straight down the middle. But then they say America's first black president, which is interesting because when he was running, they called him the mixed candidate. I see how it works. Everyone makes it obvious now. They're like, yeah, Barack, of course he won, of course. It wasn't that obvious when he started. It wasn't. I remember comedians coming out. They used to diss him. Guys would come out on stage and be like, man, how many of y'all seen that crazy-ass mixed fool running for president? Y'all seen that mixed fool running for president? What you gonna see? Ain't no mixed fool gonna be president of the United States of America. Ain't no man, which white people gonna be voting for a mixed fool? Even a black man can't win shit. Even a black man can't. How some mixed fool think he gonna do it? Man, that mixed fool, that crazy-ass mixed fool. How some mixed fool, that mixed fool? And then he won, and all of a sudden they were like, my nigga. So... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they are now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was. And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. You know? I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. You know, they were the best. It's not because they were bad. I think I blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. Yeah, there's no stories of like Troy the Terrible from Trinidad. You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave. Can you imagine that scene? Just some random handsome guys hanging out on a beach in the Caribbean. One looking at the other out of nowhere. Darius! Darius! What, Troy? I was thinking, bro. Stay with me here. I was thinking, right? We should build boats, sail around the world, and force everyone to dance calypso. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And you know, colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in a history book. They colonized. When you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you know, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange, because you go there and you don't just take over. You then force the people to become you. That is such a strange concept. When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa, they did it in Asia. And think about in India. Those cultures could not be more diametrically opposed. And out of nowhere, the British just decided to roll up. Imagine what the Indians must have felt like on that day. Minding your own business, walking through a field. Next thing you know, the British showed up on horseback. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Her Majesty the Queen, we have arrived. You over there, what is the name of this land? This land over here? This is called India. Well, my good man, I am here to tell you that India is now under the British Empire. And I am glad that I can tell you that India is exactly where it was yesterday. No, I feel you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that we're here to colonize you by order of the Queen. Who is the Queen? The Queen of England, the ruler of Great Britain. She who was ordained by God. Which God? God. The one true God. There are many gods, my friend. What is the name of your God? There is only one God, and his name is God, and you too shall worship him. You want me to worship a God, but you don't want to tell me his name? What are you talking about? There are many gods, okay? There is Shiva, there is Lakshmi, there is Hare Krishna, there are many gods.
what is the name of your God?
His name is God.
You don't know the name of your God?
It's just God.
Is it like mommy or daddy? You want me to worship your God, but you don't want me to tell me his name, huh? How am I going to pray to him? What do? Every morning I go to wake up and I pray like, oh, dear God, I was hoping that maybe God, you could help me. No, sorry, not you, other God. No, other God. No, not wrong God. No, God, I was trying to talk to other. No, you're right. I should have asked for her first name. No, God. No, other God, please. No, God behind that God. No, not you today, God. Other God. You're right. He told me he would know I was talking to, and I don't. No, other God, please. That God on that. No, that God. You. Then I wonder why my prayers are not getting answered, huh?
How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am?
No, because you never introduced yourself.
I have come here representing Great Britain.
And I have never heard of Great Britain. Who gave you that name? Well, we did. You called yourselves great? Isn't that a little presumptuous? Shouldn't you wait for other people to tell you how great you are? Huh? Shouldn't you just go around the world and just do good things? Then people go, oh my God, Britain, look how great you are.
Well, I beg to differ. I believe we could do it because we knew instinctively. We are Great Britain.
Well, in that case, welcome to Great India.
No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How dare you speak to me like this?
Look, you're the one who dares to speak to me, okay? I was here minding my own business in my land. You came over here riding on your skinny cow telling me that things are going to change. I don't know who you are. All I know is you are really crazy, okay? You're not feeling too right, and I didn't want to say anything, but you look like you're going to faint. In fact, it looks like you have died last week, okay? Something is very wrong with your skin. You're not looking good, my friend. Maybe you should come down. We have a curry. We talk about this.
What are you talking about? I look quite normal.
You do not look normal, my friend. I've never seen anybody with that complexion in my life, okay? You look like you're playing hide and seek with the sun your entire life. I don't know what is happening, but that is not how a person should look, huh? I can see your veins pumping through your skin right now. Do you know how creepy that is? Pumping. If I was your doctor, I don't need X-ray machine. I just go, what is problem? It is your kidney. How do I know? Because you're translucent. That is how I know.
Damn you, we are going to run this country whether you like it or not.
We are not going to do anything you tell us. You're a madman.
We are going to take it. You're not taking. We're going...
She's all yours. Take. Don't play nice. Take.
And that's how the British took over. That's how they took over India. And then, many years later, the British, after they were done pillaging, left and went back home. And so it only stands to reason that those Indians, who they had now made British, would seek out the land from whence they came. I don't understand why British people are complaining, going, why are they coming here? Why the hell are you coming here?
Because you told us how great it was, so we came to see for ourselves.
No. Go back to where you came from. Go back. You're not welcome here. This is not your home.
But you said we are all part of the British Empire.
No, when I said part, I meant you are under us, right? We're the British. You are the empire.
What do you mean?
We are the British and you are the empire.
Okay, well in that case, the empire strikes back. Now make some curry and tell me where we're sitting, okay? Let's go.
They can't complain. They cannot complain. If there's one nation in the world, they cannot complain. The truth is, none of us should be complaining. When you think about it, when people term immigration, it just depends on your timeline, right? So you're an immigrant. When do you measure from? Everyone is an immigrant from somewhere. Whenever I see people have those conversations in America, you know, about these damn immigrants, they're coming over here, these damn immigrants, get out of here, you immigrants. I always wonder what Native Americans must be thinking when they're listening to the words that are being said. You know? People confidently saying, this is not where they came from, this is not their land. And they're like, oh, tell me more. They need to go back because this is not their home. Oh, really? Everyone is an immigrant in some way, you know. When you travel, you see this. I say that to people. That's why I always say to people, I go, travel the world. If there's one thing you will never waste your money on, it's traveling. Travel the world. See another place. Discover a different point of view. Traveling is the antidote to ignorance. And that's so true. It changes your mind, your perspective, how you believe, what you believe. And you know one of the greatest things you can do when you travel, one of the greatest things you can do is traveling to a country where they don't speak your language. That's probably my favorite thing. Going to a place where they don't speak English just to make you realize how insignificant you really are. You're not the center of the universe. There's another world that exists beyond you. I try and do that all the time. I try my utmost. I go to English-speaking countries, but I try every now and again to go to a country where they speak no English, you know? Like recently, I went to Scotland, right? And again, I had an amazing time. The place was beautiful. It was a different culture, rich in history. They have the rolling highlands of Scotland. You know, they've got these castles, beautiful, perfectly preserved, hundreds of years old. In the streets, there's the men playing the bagpipes, wearing the kilts. No black people. But not in a bad way, not in a bad way. Just in a matter-of-fact way, you know? Like when I say that there's no black people in Scotland, I just mean there's no black people. But not like there's a good way and then there's a bad. Like the good way is when you get there and you're like, there's no black people, you know? But then there's some places you go and you're like, there's no black people. And that's when you know what I mean? That means some shit went down. You can feel it when you get there. Like Australia, there's no Aborigines. And when you get there, you're like, hey, Australia! You're like, wait, where's all the black people? And they're like, oh, I don't know. They left. You can feel something went wrong. But Scotland doesn't have that, you know? Scotland doesn't have black people because further north there were no black people. There's not many black things further north. The further north you go, the whiter things become. You know, it's the people, the Christmas, the bears, everything changes. I'm sure if you went to a Scottish person and said, excuse me, sir, are you racist? He'd be like, I don't know. I never tried. I had so much fun in Scotland. I remember I was in Glasgow for a week. I was driving around in the back of a car, and every single day, I would try and spot black people. It was like a little game that I played by myself. Every day, I would just be there like, black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No, statue. Black person, black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No reflection. Black person, black person, black person, black person. No black people anywhere. None. And that's why I say traveling is important. Because I'd never been to a place where there were no black people before. It actually made me realize I love everything about LA, even the things that people hate about LA, I love the traffic in LA. It's like one of my favorite experiences. Yeah, when you don't live here, it's great. It's wonderful. Because you get to be a part of it, but you know it's not yours forever. It's like another person's child. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get to be like, this is crazy. Have it back. That's what it feels like. I love it, man. I love the vibe, you know. I love driving out here. You know, and while I'm out here, I get to listen to the radio, because you guys have great radio stations because you're always in your cars, you know. In New York, like radio's not a big thing for me living in New York. I ride my bicycle, I walk through the streets, I can't listen to music because I'll die. But in LA, that's all I do. You just listen to music. Now these days when you're driving around, all you hear is trap music. That's the big thing you hear is trap. That's the new music on the radio. It's really fun, trap. I don't understand what they're saying, but I enjoy it, you know. Yeah, every single song is the same. Every trap song to me sounds like a toddler complaining about life. That's all I hear when I listen to trap songs. Every time a trap song plays on the radio, I think of my little brother. He'll go outside, he'll like hurt himself, he'll come back crying, and it sounds like every single trap song ever. He'll like walk in like, and I'll be like, yo, Isaac, what happened, buddy? He'll be like, and I'll be like, yo, dude, slow down. I thought you were playing with your friends. What happened? All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead now. Give me to the end now. I'm trying to lead you. I'll be like, yo, go talk to your mom, man. I don't know what you're saying. Go talk to your mom. The city of angels. I love every moment, man. I'm enjoying myself. I just got back from vacation, so I'm having a great time. You know when you got that vacation swag? You know, you still got that thing, you know, you still feel loose, you feel relaxed. I went to Bali on vacation, yeah, out in Indonesia. Yeah, if you've never been, make a plan and get out there. It's an amazing place. I went out with some of my friends, learned a few things about myself as a person. Most important thing I learned is somebody needs to invent a TripAdvisor specifically for black people, right? No, because just generally I find that what white people want to do on vacation is what black people are trying to escape. And not in a bad way, it's just like we want different things out of life, you know? Like my white friends are always inviting me camping, for instance, always. Like with enthusiasm, we're like, Trevor, you want to go camping, dude? I'm like, why? Why? It's like, dude, what do you mean why? It's amazing, you're kidding me? It's like no water, no electricity, you know? It's just like us in the great outdoors. You gotta like take a dump in the hole in the floor or something, dude. I'm like, yeah, that was my life. That was me growing up. You know how hard I worked to never go camping again? Every day I wake up in my bed and I'm like, thank God I'm not camping. If my family saw pictures of me camping, they would be devastated. My grandmother saw me out in the woods. She'd be like, oh, what happened to Trevor? Oh, I thought he was successful. Oh, it must be the crack. What, you gonna answer that? No, they can call me back later. He's like, it's getting awkward, just answer your phone, I'll wait. Okay. Hello? Yes, this is Trevor speaking. How can I help you? Yes, no, the one and the same. Can you get to the point? I can't talk right now. Can you tell me what you need? I can't speak for too long. Can you? No. There is nothing wrong with my voice. Can you just get? No, everything is fine. No, I have not been kidnapped. No. I have not been kidnapped. Everything is fine. This is not a secret message. Just can you tell me what you need? No, we can talk later then. Yeah, my voice is like this sometimes. Don't worry about that. Just wait. No, and I think I know my voice. I think I know my voice also. Yeah, well, I've been me my whole life, okay? I've been me my... Okay, fine. We'll talk later. Okay. Love you too, mommy. Bye-bye. It's the most awkward meal I've ever had in my life. I barely ate a thing. I sat there thinking about my life. We finally get up to leave. Steve is beaming from ear to ear. They walk out ahead of me, and as I'm leaving the restaurant, the waiter waves us off. He's like, good night, everybody. He's like, have a great night. And we wave at him, and he's like, hey, excuse me, before you go, hey, aren't you Trevor Noah? A comedian, right? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, oh no, because I totally got you, Trevor. I totally got you, Trevor. I was like, wait, what? Wait, you Indian? He's like, of course I'm Indian. Of course I'm Indian. All places Indian. I totally got you, huh? I said, well, I don't understand. He's like, you don't understand. I understand. You walked in. I said, look, Trevor Noah coming. Then you start talking with accent. I go, I also do accent. Then you were doing accent. Then I do accent. Then you were doing accent. You make joke, I make joke. Do you like joke? I was like, no, I don't like your joke. I don't like your joke. I thought I was about to get canceled. Do you see this shit? He's like, it was amazing. You were sweating so hard. Not from the curry, eh? That was so funny, Trevor. I was like, it was not funny. My friends were laughing at me. He's like, I know. He's like, I wasn't scared, man. Why would you do that? He's like, because, Trevor, I take great joy in the pain and suffering of others. It's called Schadenfreude. Yo, Toronto. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. We headed to Paris, France, to do shows. For the first time in my life, I was very excited. Always wanted to perform in Paris, didn't know what it would be, but can I tell you? Paris is everything they tell you it is. It is easily one of the most romantic cities I have ever been to in my life. I fell in love 1,000 times. I was by myself, it didn't matter. Yeah. Every night it was just me and those bed bugs, baby. I really enjoyed Paris because, you know, I got to meet Parisians in person. You know, not stereotypes, not things that you're told about them. No, actually meet French people, learn about them from them. And I learned some truly amazing things. For instance, the French have a very different relationship with work than the rest of us, right? In that they don't give a shit about it. Which honestly I found inspiring. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us have become a little too attached to our work, you know? We identify with our work. Have you ever asked somebody just randomly, be like, hey, tell me about yourself? And they'll be like, well, I'm an architect, and tell me about yourself. Well, you know, I own a hair salon, and tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a teacher, and tell me about yourself. And people will tell you about what they do. You know, it's become the thing that people focus on. The French don't do that. No. You'll never meet a French person who does that. You go up to a French person, you'll be like, excuse me, what do you do? Be like, oh, me, I go for walks with my friends, and, you know, I like to, you know, eat good food, and you're like, no, what do you do for a living? It's like, for a living, pardon, okay, for a living, okay, no, I breathe, and, you know, I drink water, and, you know, of course I have to make love, you know. It's just a different way to be, man. You know, not being so attached to your work. It was lovely. I learned this because when I flew to Paris, my luggage was lost, right? Yeah, landed in the airport, and bags were gone, didn't arrive. I discovered this, obviously, at the carousel, which is one of those shitty things that airlines do to you. Right? They know your bags are not coming. Yeah, they know where your bag is every single moment. But they don't tell you. They let you stand there like an idiot with hope in your heart. They could literally come to your seat before you take off and just be like, it's not coming. Spoiler alert. But they don't. They let you take off with all that joy like an idiot. Whee! I landed in Paris. I thought it was the beginning of a great trip. I was skipping around. I had my full luggage swag. And I was like, I'm gonna get my bags, go into Paris, start exploring. Got to the carousel. I was like, full luggage swag. That's right. Let me get my luggage, everybody. I was like, excuse me. Make some space, please. I would also like to lean over the carousel. It makes the bags come quicker. Come on, lucky bag. I had full luggage swag. Bags started coming out. I was standing there judging them. Who still uses Samsonite? Where's my bag? Bags going around. And then new bags stopped coming out. I started worrying. And then at some point there were fewer and fewer bags. And I was like, oh, my bag's not coming. And I realized my bag hadn't arrived. It was terrible. I had the same feeling I had as a child when my mom would forget me at school. The exact same feeling. I was just standing at the carousel. I felt like I was that kid, 10 years old again, just like, no, Mr. Wilkinson, it's fine. You can go. My mom's gonna come. Don't worry, you can go home. She's coming. She wouldn't forget me. No, she's probably dead somewhere right now. She's probably in a ditch, lying dead. She forgot me. She'd forget me occasionally. And then I'd have to walk home. It was like an hour walk. And I'd get home. And she'd always have the same reaction when I walked into the house. Because my mom worked from home.
And so she'd have like a little computer where she'd be typing away, and I'd walk into the house and I'd close the door, be like, always the same reaction. She'd be like, no, baby, no. Oh, what time is it? And I'd be like, it's too late. I'm not gonna lie, I hated being forgotten at school, but I savored those moments. Because it wasn't any sweat, to be honest. Like, I liked walking, you know. It's not like I was stressed on the walk. Oh, I'd be kicking stones, singing on the way back, and then I'd get to the house and I'd be like, no, wait a minute. I loved it, because that was the one moment when I was allowed to give my mom unlimited attitude with no repercussions. None. Yeah, because when I was a kid, you couldn't just be like give attitude to your parents. Like, I wasn't a white child, you know what I mean? You couldn't. I had to watch myself. But when she messed up, ooh, I loved it. I'd walk in, she'd be like, oh, can you forgive me, baby? I'd be like, I'll think about it. So now, I had to find somebody to help me. I would look around. There's an older French gentleman standing on the side. Gray hair, rosy cheeks, short little guy with glasses. And so I walked over to him, and he was wearing a red vest. And in French, it read, information. And then underneath in English said, information. I was like, phew. Bonjour, hello, hi. He's like, oh, hello, bonjour. I said, English, French? He said, English? Yeah, oui. I said, okay. Could you help me, please? My luggage didn't arrive. I would like to know, what do I need to do? He's like, oh, the luggage didn't come. If you go for that one, maybe you can put you, because different flight airline can be put on different ones. So you have to try to maybe go on different. Maybe they can come in for tracking, look inside the app, and that one you can really find for you, because it's not the more different ones, because we are not in control with the airport, but these different ones they are putting in for the airline, they are in control, so maybe you can see for that one. I was like, okay. All right, let's try French. Let's see what happens. Finally, we figured it out. He sent me off to a special area where you go and, I guess, make a report. And when I get there's another French guy who's behind the counter, much younger, right? He was like maybe Algerian, Moroccan of descent, but very French, cool guy. And he's behind the counter helping someone. He's like, okay, thank you very much, thank you. Next, please. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, man. He's like, hey, what's going on, my brother? How are you, man? What's up with you? What's up? I was like, I need your help, please. My luggage, it didn't come. It's lost. He's like, oh, no, dude, your luggage didn't come. Oh, man. Did you look for it? So what? Yeah, that's the first thing I did. What, you think I'm just here for company? Of course that's... Well, he's like, oh, no, just checking. Okay, so the bag is gone, it's totally... I'm like, yeah, it's gone. He's like, oh, man, that sucks, man. I'm so sorry for you, man. That's terrible. Yeah, so what do you want to do now? So what do I want to do? I said, well, I would like you to do something, like to... Can we like make a report or something? He's like, okay, yeah. You want to make some paperwork or something? It's for your insurance, so they can pay you for it. I said, no, it's so that you can find it and bring it to me. He's like, oh no, don't worry, man, don't worry. We are not going to find it. No, man. No, don't worry about that. No, you know, it's Paris, man. When the bags are gone, they're probably gone. Yeah, they don't ever pop up. Sometimes if you are lucky, but if it's not here by now, it's probably gone, you know. It's Fridays, there are some strikes, you know. Just you can leave. Don't even stress yourself. You can go. It's like, don't even stress myself. Yo, this is my luggage. This is like all my clothes. He's like, yeah, but you are in Paris. You need clothes? This is Paris, man. Come on, Paris. Go and buy some clothes. What's wrong with you, man? Chill. He was so confident. He made me feel like I was wrong. Like, I doubted myself. I walked away and I was like, am I wrong? Am I too attached to my luggage? He wasn't lying. Paris does have a great selection of clothing. I had to go and buy clothes because I had nothing for my shows, for anything. And if you ever do go to Paris, take some extra money for the clothes shopping. It's amazing. And try and also pack an extra pair of self-esteem. Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French.
because they're not your friends. Yeah, I've never been to a country where you are truly on your own when you're shopping. Like you walk into a store, nobody helps you, nothing. You don't know who works there, you don't know who's doing anything. Literally, it's like undercover employee. You're just walking around. It's like 20 minutes, nobody helped me. And then finally I started picking my own clothes. And then I heard like an annoyed voice behind me. It was like, can I help you? I was like, hi, yes, I need to get a few clothes, please. My luggage was lost. And then Detroit, I got roasted more than I've ever been roasted in my life. Ever. I got roasted. Everything I chose came with a scathing review. I was like, yeah, could I please get this in a medium? It's like, medium? No, you mean large or extra large, no? Yeah, no, this one is the medium for your body. I don't think so, no? I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, no, yeah, I think you are large, extra. I can bring that one for you, okay? Medium is too much for the shirt, okay? I'm like, what? Yo, everything. There's a point where there's a jacket I wanted to buy. I was like, yeah, could I get this? He's like, oh no, this one for your skin tone is not great. No, you have to think about what is complementary for the colors inside the fabric and also inside your face, okay? This one is not the best. I was like, yo, I already own something like this. He's like, and you are wearing it? Well, not anymore. He's like, no, you can wear it if you want. No, c'est tranquille, go ahead. I was like, no, you threaten me now. They you know what, it's just different. A friend said to me, was like, dude, the French are assholes, right? I was like, no, I don't think that they're assholes. I think they're just very honest, right? And a lot of the time, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Because one day I was speaking to a French woman and I worked up the courage to ask her. I said, hey, why are the French like this? And she said, what do you mean? I said, like when you're in like a store, you know, they seem very mean. She's like, oh no, they are not being mean, they are just being themselves, no? You know, maybe because you are used to coming in a country where people are, you know, they are so afraid that you're not going to tip them, that, you know, they are all on top of you. Can I help you? Can I help you? But in France, we are making sure that everybody is getting like a good salary, a good wage. So we are not, you know, so stressed about that, huh? You know, in America, it's like, oh, the customer is king, But in France, you know what we do to kings. So, you know, it's not the same here. The French don't play that game. I'm having more fun in my life now than I think I've ever had. I'm enjoying America more now than I've ever enjoyed it. Every day. I don't even know what it is. I think, you know what, I think it's, you enjoy a place differently when it might be ending, you know? It just has like a different feeling to it. It's just like, what does that taste? The final season? Because you never know with America. You really never know. Every day is the best day and possibly the last day. I'm having an amazing time. I truly am. This year was such a blessing because I got to travel around the world doing shows in places I'd never performed before, places I've always wanted to do comedy. I've always wanted to try it out. You know, did shows in Berlin, Germany for the first time ever. That was really amazing. I won't lie, people freaked me out. People freaked me out before I went there. Like similar to Detroit, you know, when people are like, oh, watch out, Detroit, watch out, Detroit. You know, like people were like that with Germany as well. Like when I was going to Berlin, people were like, dude, Germany? Do they laugh? I'm like, what do you mean? They're human beings. Like, I don't know, man. Do they laugh? People got to me. There was a point when I was heading to Germany where I was like, maybe Germans just sit in the audience like, yeah, that was a comedy show. But they don't. They laugh. They're actually great audiences. I had an amazing time in Berlin. It's a city that sneaks up on you because it's so culturally diverse. You know, it has a burgeoning art scene, you know, fantastic music. The history in Berlin is truly deep and rich. You know, I love traveling and seeing places whenever I'm in certain cities. And in Berlin, I went out with like a tour group, and I had a great time, but I wish someone had warned me how painful a lot of like Berlin's history is, right? Because that was basically the headquarters of the Nazi party. So like everything ties back to Hitler. I didn't know this. I thought we were going on like a cute little tour. I ask a lot of questions. I'm curious. This brought the mood down. And we're out and about. The tour guide was doing his shtick. He was happy as well. He was like, here behind me you can see this is one of the largest airports that was ever built in the world. Yeah, it is a world famous airport here in Berlin, and it is so large that they filmed the Hollywood movie, The Hunger Games, inside this airport. Yeah? Any questions? And I was like, yeah, wow, how old is this thing? He's like, this is almost 100 years old. I'm like, damn, and like who built it? Yeah, that is the unfortunate part of the story. This airport was built by Hitler. I could see I'd messed things up. I tried to bring the mood up. I was like, which Hitler? He's like, which Hitler? Which other Hitler is there? I was like, could be Henry Hitler. Henry Hitler? Who the hell is Henry Hitler? I was like, you don't know Henry Hitler? It didn't work. Like, yo, man. It was tense, but it was good. And what I mean by good is it was nice to be in a place where people don't bury their history. You know? And what I mean by that... What I mean by that is that, like, when you travel through Germany, even if you don't go to museums, you cannot escape the past of both Berlin and what Germany did. You know, there are monuments scattered throughout the city, prominent monuments. They're memorializing what Germany did to millions of Jewish people and millions of other people around the world. You see it, you understand it, they talk about it. You know, they teach their kids about it. They teach children in school. They're like, hey, this is what Germany did. They make sure they know. But they don't make them feel guilty about it, which is a pretty amazing balance for them to strike, you know? They'll say to the kids, they're like, hey, kids, I hope you understand. Germany did this. You're not responsible because you weren't there. However, because you're the future of Germany, it's your responsibility to make sure this doesn't happen again. You know what I loved about being in Germany when they were talking about their histories is how forthright they are about it. You know, they know it's painful, they know that it's a terrible blight on who they are, but they don't hide from it. Like when I saw them doing this, I was like, man, I wish America did this with history. You know, 'cause you ever see how awkward it is speaking about history in America? It gets tense. Doesn't matter what history it is, it gets tense. You know, Columbus Day is one of those days. Every year in New York, there's a fight. Every year. Here in Detroit, there was a fight. There was a bust of Christopher Columbus that was around for 110 years. At some point, half of Detroit was like, we need to get rid of it. The other half was like, no, don't get rid of it. It was a huge fight. New York, same thing, every year. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, there was an interview on the news I saw once. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I found it funny. The reporter went up to some guy and was like, sir, what are you going to be doing for Indigenous Peoples Day? And he was like, let me tell you something, it's Columbus Day. I'm sick and tired of people coming in and changing the name. We're proud of that day. It's Christopher Columbus. It's Columbus Day. It's not going to change. In fact, how would you feel if somebody came along, took something that's been around for a long time, and just decided to switch it and call it something else, huh? How would you feel? I was like, but sir, isn't that the spirit of Columbus Day? I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Indigenous Peoples Day, the title. I don't like. I think it's a cop-out. I don't think it's specific enough. It's lazy. You know, Indigenous Peoples Day. Which Indigenous people? Where? How? Give me something, you know? You know what I liked about Columbus Day? Is that it was specific. Yeah.
It was a specific, inspiring story of a man by the name Christopher Columbus, who believed against all odds that he could sail the wrong way around the world and get to India from the other side. Nobody believed in him. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna do this. They were like, you can't do it, Chris. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. He's like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. And he raised money. He fought for years. He finally got the ships and he sailed the wrong way around the world and he didn't do it. Not only did he not land on the other side of India, he found himself in a place called the Caribbean, and he was like, this is India. And the people there were like, I don't know if you've been eating some of the herb we've been leaving about, but this is totally not India. And they're like, this is India, and you guys are Indians. They're like, brother, we are not Indians. He's like, I know Indians when I don't see them. You're Indians, just on the far side, so you're West Indians. And he stuck with it. Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India. He's like, it's India. They're like, I don't think it's India. He's like, it's India. He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name and be like, I'm right, give me a holiday. No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth? They'd be like, burn her, she's a witch. You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people just gonna sail around the world, wrong way around, get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, what are you doing here? Be like, man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize, man. This won't happen again. Why would you want to bury your history? There's so much joy, there's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know? It wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. They're like, oh, no, take the slavery out, it's making the kids feel bad. And other parents are like, keep the slavery in, it's teaching the children. And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? What you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came. Yeah, they. I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans
into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly, who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out, they go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm gonna make it seem like this is a nationwide issue, and then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it, who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's gonna stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's gonna enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you be like, hey man, hey, you all right? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call, hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. How does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually. In fact, any man in here, I don't, like, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell. There is no stain. There is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hand, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, 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 comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurant. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away and I get hard and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later we get married and our families are joined and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Why? Public bathrooms. That's why you shouldn't bury your history. Yeah, because if you know it's happened, you know what to predict. You understand why it happened in the first place. Germany does that in a truly astounding way. Look, it's not perfect. It'll never be perfect. But Germany is one of the only countries in the world that has actively paid reparations for what they did. One of the only countries in the world that has actively apologized. And one of the only countries in the world that's set about changing how they see themselves and how the world sees them. After World War II, Germany changed a bunch of laws. They changed the iconography of the country, what you could hang, where you could hang it. They changed their national anthem. Yeah. Imagine that, they changed the national anthem. They felt that the national anthem was a nationalist song that the Nazis used to inspire people to think the wrong things, and they changed it. The original song was a song called Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. And you've probably heard it like in old movies or whatever. The song went like, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles auf der Welt. And translated into English, it means, Germany, Germany, over everything in the world. And clearly they meant it. Yeah. Where most anthems are theoretical, Germans are precise. But after World War II, they were like, we can't have that same attitude. And so they changed the anthem. They had new lyrics. The new lyrics are,
Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland.
Which translated into English is
Unity and rights and freedom for all the people who live in Germany.
Which is adorable. It's adorable. I mean, they may as well have made the song Sorry, sorry, we're so, so sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry for what we did. I appreciate that they did it, but I wouldn't have gone that far. No, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have gone that far. I think Uber alles is terrible. That's not a good way to think. But you still gotta have a bit of kick in your anthem, you know? Still gotta have like a, you know? Yeah, I would have found like a middle ground. Mine would have been like Deutschland, Deutschland, irgendwo in den Top 5. Nicht über alles auf der Welt. Because we are definitely in the top 5 when you think about it. America's number 1, and then you have Great Britain, and then you have France and Spain, and then we are at number 5. Well, actually, Spain is not better than us, so we are number 4. Number 4 in the, oh yeah, but France, their economy is not that strong, so maybe we are number 3 in the world, then you have England above, oh wait, oh, Brexit was not a smart idea, so maybe we are number 2 and America is number, oh, their elections are not that stable, so then maybe we are über alles auf der Welt!
America hates change. Woo! America does not like change. You want to change the things Germany changed, the money, the flags, the anthem. Are you kidding me? Remember when they tried to change the $20 bill? Remember that? Yeah, they said they were going to put Harriet Tubman on the bill. People got so angry, they've postponed it indefinitely. People were furious. They're like, what are you doing? They're like, we're going to put Harriet Tubman. They're like, how dare you? How dare you take an American president off the 20? How dare you take, who's on the 20? How dare you take Andrew Jackson off the $20 bill? People are like, they're not taking him off. They're just putting Harriet Tubman on the front and Andrew Jackson will be on the back. You're putting an American president on the back? On the back? That's disrespectful. It's not really. I mean, if you know your history, you would know Andrew Jackson would love to be on the backside of a black woman. So I don't know why you're so stressed. I feel like everybody wins. People were furious, though. And now you're going to suggest changing the flag? Suggest changing the anthem? Whew. There's 2 things I've learned living in America. It's you respect the flag and you respect the anthem. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but I follow the rules. No, the reason I say I don't know what it means is because it's confusing. You'll meet a lot of people who are like, you respect the flag. And I get it, but then I'll see those same people on July 4th and they'll be wearing the flag as underwear. Does that count? Yeah, you looked up and you were like, that flag, these balls. I mean, I would never suggest changing any of it. The anthem, oh, not never the anthem. Even though it could, maybe it could do with a little change, you know? It is a very violent anthem. You know, and America struggles with a lot of violence, maybe like a softer anthem, because it's a violent anthem. It's the only anthem I've ever heard that has bombs blowing up in it. Yeah, there are bombs and rockets in your national anthem. It's like a Michael Bay movie in a song. Everything just blowing up in slow motion. And it's almost like you're threatening other countries as well. You know, it's just like, yeah, bombs bursting and the rockets were flaring. Try us. It's like a gangster rap, to be honest. It really is. I feel like the American anthem is like a gangster rap. You know, it has all the same elements. It has the violence, has the threats. You know how much it's similar to a gangster rap? The American anthem is the only anthem where you can put the word bitch at the end of any line and the song still makes sense. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there, bitch. I love the American national anthem, I won't lie. It's exciting, and I know all the words. I didn't try and learn the words, but I know the words. It's just one of those songs that you hear so much that you know it, you know? Sort of like, nationwide is on your side, like same thing. I don't want to know that, I don't need to know that. Yeah, I wish I could reclaim the space in my brain, but it's there. America's national anthem is like that, because you hear it so much in America. You know, this is the only country I've ever lived in where you play the national anthem when there is no other country in attendance. Yeah, it would be like basketball games, football games, beer pong games, national anthem. Which I know is normal if you've lived in America all your life. You're like, well, what other way is there, Trevor? Well, I'll tell you, as somebody who comes from the rest of the world, that's not a thing. It's not. Most places in the world, you play the national anthem like maybe once a year on like a national event, or when you're competing against another country. That's when you play it, right? Because the other country's there, and you have to prove to your country that you're loyal. That's why you sing the song, you know, because countries are very insecure. You have to reassure them, constantly reassuring. They should go to therapy, deal with their attachment issues, but they don't. You only realize how insecure countries are when you leave your country. Have you ever left and come back? Have you seen the questions your country asks you? So insecure, so jealous, just like, where have you been? Huh? Where have you been? Which countries, huh? So what, you have another country now? Huh? Is that what you're doing? Huh? Which stamps are these? Let me see, who's been stamping your passport? Let me see your passport. You're like, yeah, damn country. Let me get my privacy. That's why in most places you only sing the anthem when there's another country in attendance. Only time you do it. Because that's what it's for. Make your country feel good. All right? You know what national anthems are in many ways? National anthems are the geopolitical equivalent of that thing women do to us men. Like, ladies, you know that trick you have for that man in your life? Like, whenever his ego is bruised and you have to try and heal it. Yeah? Every woman in this room has a trick that works on every man. Yeah, and right now I know a lot of the women are like, shut up, Trevor, shut up, 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 shut up. It's a beautiful, subtle technique. Yeah. You'll be out having lunch or something, and some guy will come up to the table, he's buff, works out, you know, looks really good. He's like, oh my God, Michelle? It's like, oh, Justin? Oh my God, wow, how are you? And you're there like, who the hell is Justin? What's going on? He's like, this is crazy, I can't believe this, twice in 2 weeks? And you're there like, twice? When was once? Who is this? I know, oh my God, oh, how are you? I'm doing good, man, we gotta catch up sometime. We gotta talk about college. I was thinking about it the other day. We were so crazy in college. You remember that night? And you're like, you went to college? What's going on here? She can feel your ego slowly withering like a raisin in the sun. And she won't look at you. She won't make anything big out of it. She'll continue the conversation, but they'll gently just put their hand on your thigh and then just start rubbing it. She'll carry on like nothing's happening. I know, those were crazy. I mean, I was a cheerleader. I mean, what are you gonna do, you know? It's just one of those. And then the hand is there going, shh. It's okay, you're a big man, strong man, that's right. There's no other men in the world, just you, look at you, wow, what a big man, yeah. Who, this guy? I don't even know who he is. Oh yeah, no, with his muscles, oh, I don't like muscles, no. Oh, I hate muscles, they're disgusting, look at him, oh, working out and everything's in shape and bulging. No, it's disgusting. What, 6-packs? No, I don't want a 6-pack. I don't like 6-packs. That's why I like you. Boop. That's what a national anthem is. You reassuring your country. The American anthem is such an interesting one, you know? Everything that represents America is the anthem. America has the most fun anthem rules in the world. Only country in the world where you're allowed to sing the anthem however you want. However you want. You can't do that anywhere else. Everywhere else in the world, the anthem is the way it is written. It's boring, and that's the point. You can't just change it. In America, you can do whatever you please. I noticed it the first time. First time I really noticed it was at a basketball game. It was the New York Knicks, and they were playing against the Toronto Raptors, right? And because the Raptors are from Canada, they had to play 2 national anthems before the game, which is rare. Right? So that we're in the arena, and everyone's like, and then the voice comes on. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Canadian national anthem. And everybody stood, and then they just played like a tape somewhere. You could tell they didn't care. And it was the song, the Canadian song. It's always the same. It's like, oh, Canada, that is the native song. I've missed song. And something brings us back to do. You know the song, man. I don't have time for that. Whatever. They sang the Canadian anthem. They were done. And then the announcer came back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stay standing for the American national anthem. And that's my favorite part. Yeah, the lights will go dark. Someone walks to the middle of the arena. It's always so intense. Complete silence. The dawn, early What's so proud? Why are you trying to make the anthem sexy? What are you doing? What are you doing? I never understand that. Why are you trying to make it a sexy song? You'll never be in England and see someone like, remix! God save the Queen, God save the Queen. I save the Queen with sexy sex. Come on, save the Queen. Let's save the Queen with sexy sex. Come on, save that Queen. Oh, man.